All right, guys. Again, we are focused. Phones are put away, away, away. Mid-segment of triangles. Shh. All right. If. We're going to have an if-then statement. If. I'm going to draw a triangle here. And I'm going to call this triangle A, B, C. I'm going to draw this segment right down the middle and call it D, E. Okay, I'm going to tell you that D bisects AC. What does it mean to bisect or be the midpoint of? It cuts it in half. So this segment is equal to that segment, even if it's not drawn to scale. E is the midpoint of CB. What does that mean about CE and BE? All right, are they congruent across the triangle like this? Yes or no? No. Are they congruent to themselves on the same side like this? Yes. Yes. So congruent to themselves on the left side, congruent to itself on the right side, not congruent across. Do you see that? Yeah. Okay. When we have something like this, a segment that cuts each side length here in half, it has a special name. We call that the mid-segment. So DE is the mid-segment. DE is the mid-segment. All right, so there's going to be a number of ways they say it. They'll either say it in words, DE is the mid-segment, or they'll say DE cuts AC in half and E is the midpoint of CB, then you know it's the mid-segment. They will give you markings, congruent markings like this. So they'll either give you congruent markings, or they'll tell you it's the mid-segment, or they'll tell you that these points cut the sides in half. All right. If they do any of those things, then I'm going to redraw the triangle the best I can. All right, A, B, C, again with DE being the mid-segment, which they can tell you a number of ways. All right, any thoughts, any guesses on a relationship between DE and AB? Anyone? I know I haven't given it to you yet, but any thoughts on what's going to happen with DE and AB? What was that?
Get big.
It's going to get big?
Yes.
Get bigger. Which one is bigger, AB or DE, just by looking? AB. Is it always going to be bigger than the mid-segment?
It's always right.
It has to do something with the side lengths. Okay, so I'm going to give it to you. There's two things that are going to happen. DE will always be parallel to AB all day long, every single time. If DE is the mid-segment, then it will be parallel to the base, AB. So let's write that down. Then DE is parallel to AB. Then DE is parallel to AB. All right, what else is going to happen is something about their side lengths. Which one did we say was bigger? AB. Any thoughts on how much bigger? Just take a guess. Much bigger. All right, anyone else? Half? Okay, so he's saying that DE is half the length of AB. He is correct. All right, instead of using half, saying that DE is half the size as AB, is that the same as saying AB is twice as big as DE? So I'm going to use the 2 instead of the half. 2 times DE will equal the length of AB. double the length of DE will equal the length of AB. This is a definite, not only on today's worksheet, but on the quiz and test as well. Got it? Okay, so again, double the length of DE will equal the length of AB. Double your midsegment will equal your base. No. Well, that's it for the if-then statement. What? Exactly. All right. Examples. Before we get to the numbers, we're just going to learn how to read the triangle. Please listen. I'm going to call this one X, Y, Z. And there's going to be 6 questions I give you. Before I give you those 6 questions, you really want to make sure you are paying attention, because if you're not, it's going to get confusing to catch up on your drawing. Okay, first thing I want to draw is the line across here like so. Now I'm going to call this M, N. And I'm not going to use the word midsegment, but I'm going to put markings like this. If I put those markings there, without writing down any word midsegment, just with those markings, can we conclude that MN is a midsegment? Yeah. Yes, because if it cuts the side lengths in half, it is the midsegment. I'm going to ask the question again. Are they congruent across or only on the same side? Only the same side. Congruent to themselves, not across the triangle. Everyone with me so far? Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is, you don't have to flip yours around, but I want to draw the midsegment across this way. No, I didn't do a very good job on my drawing. My drawing's way off. But I want to draw the midsegment across this way as well. I'm going to put it back really quick. Which segment is MN parallel to? XZ. Which, I'm going to label this over here P. NP is parallel. Again, mine's not drawn very well. I'm going to try that one more time. NP is parallel to what? NP is parallel to what? What is it? YX. Do you guys see that? Okay, and the last one I'm going to draw is this one here. Now I don't need to put any markings there because it's already marked. Can you see that? I'm going to flip it around upside down. Here's the 1, 1, and there's the 3, 3. So MP is parallel to which one? MP is parallel to which one? ZY. Okay, so how many midsegments do I have in this picture? 3. There's 1, there's 2, and there is 3. Make sense? Yeah. Okay. Nothing.
Wait, I have a question.
Yes.
When you find math, are you a math teacher? That is not okay.
Why is that not okay? As random as that question was.
Like, I don't really understand. Like, you're not going to use this thing outside of school after you graduate. Why don't we just do like basic math?
Like,
ooh, that was a pretty bold statement to say you're not going to use this. Not using math is saying you're not going to ever use cell phones.
Oh no, we're going to use math.
I just don't understand this algebra, like this complicated algebra. Because you're not going to use this outside of math unless you have like really
Okay, and so if they did that, guys, if they did that and around, then we wouldn't have our cell phones in our cars because they never taught anyone anything past the basic math. So what are they going to hand select? You're really smart, and you're really smart. Go make our cell phones? No, they don't do that. Okay, well then go to China. I don't know. Okay. Guys. Okay. There will be 3 other questions after. Well, there's more than that, but relating to this triangle. We will have that conversation another day. We need to finish these notes. Okay, YZ is here. So hold your triangle like this. YZ is a base or a midsegment? A base. So if it helps, you can even hold it like this. YZ is parallel to which midsegment, if this is the base? MP. Can you guys see that it is MP?
Yeah.
All right, so that's your answer, MP. All right. XZ, let's try one more. Where's XZ? This is XZ, so our picture's already okay. Is this a base or a midsegment?
Base.
A base. It is congruent to which midsegment? MN. Do you see that? Okay, PN is here. It's the one I redrew. Is that a base or a midsegment?
It's a base.
Midsegment. I'm going to hold it like this. What did I call it? PN. Base or midsegment? Do you guys see it's a midsegment? Which base is it parallel to? XY. All right. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. 4, 5, and 6.
There's more.
I told you guys that. Hey. What?
Yeah, we're gonna get headache. I did not understand one word.
All right, guys. Let's finish this. You guys are a bunch of characters today. All right. We're now talking about congruent statements. XM. Let's find XM in our picture. Okay. There are 2 things that you can say that XM is congruent to. So let's start with the obvious one with the markings. Look at the marking. How many tick marks does XM have? What other segment has 1 tick mark? M, where's XM? Here's XM. And what was the other one? MY. Do you guys agree? Okay, so MY, if you call it YM, is that okay? Yes, MY, YM, when you're talking about line segments, it is okay. Now, I had a kid ask, Mrs. Torres, isn't XM also congruent to this midsegment? What did we say was the relationship between the midsegment and the base? The base was twice as big as. So if it's twice as big and we cut it in half, are these 2 also congruent? Yeah. Yeah, you could. So yes, you could put that if you'd like. I'm going to go off the congruent statements. So YN has 2 tick markings. What is YN congruent to? NZ or ZN. How you write it is up to you. They're both correct. And XP. XP has 3 tick marks. What is XP congruent to? What was it? PZ. PZ. Sounds like a rapper. Okay, moving on. Now dealing with the numbers that you guys were looking forward to. Solve for X. All right, with those tick marks right there the way they are given to us, can we then conclude that this line right here that I'm pointing to is the midsegment? Yes, because of those tick marks there. All right, I'm going to give you that. The midsegment is X and the base is 28. And we're going to use this formula right here. Which one do I double? The midsegment or the base?
The base.
I double the midsegment. All right, so when I write my equation, don't just do it in your head. I know you can, but write it down. Double the X equals 28. Why am I doubling the X? Because the X is the midsegment. 2X equals 28. What do I divide both sides by? 2. X equals what? 14. Yes, but you have to write it down. And I've told you guys that, so it shouldn't be shocking. Okay, number 2. Okay, again, with those markings, can we conclude that this line right here that I'm pointing to is the midsegment? Okay, I'm going to give you the midsegment is 15, the base is x. Good job. So he said 2 times the 15 equals the x. Listening, are we always going to double the variable like we did on number 1? No. Are we always going to double the constant like we did on number 2? No. Are we always going to double the midsegment to equal the base? Yes. So 30 equals x. That is your answer. Questions on this page before we move on to the others? Oh, we have plenty of time. Okay, I'm going to flip this. Number 3. We will do that eventually, just maybe not today. Okay. Again, with the markings, can we conclude that this is the midsegment? And since it is the midsegment, can we double the midsegment to equal the base? Double the midsegment to equal the base. So what am I going to double? X minus 8 equals. There is a math word I'm looking for right here. What is it? Distribute. Are we going to was that the word you were thinking of? Distribute. Okay. 2x minus 16 equals 37. How do I solve that? What am I going to add over? 16. Am I going too fast? All right, I'll let you guys finish it off. What's 53 divided by 2? It's a decimal. You don't even have to work it out. You can leave it as 53 over 2, and I'm perfectly happy with that.
Really?
I'm for reals. Okay. All right. So what do we get? I'm assuming 53, and then we divide both sides by 2. Now, here's the deal. I personally do not mind you leaving it as a improper fraction. Some kids don't like it and will change it to a decimal. You said it was what?
26.5.
26.5. Some kids will change it to a mixed number. I don't care which way you write it. You pick.
I'm not doing anything. Did you hear me say something before?
I did not.
Oh.
Number 4.
He's so confident.
Okay. Number 4 is one that kids struggle with every year in the test. You guys ready? I would put little test here. Why do we put on the test? Because the tests are not meant to be, give up 5 plus 3, all the easy problems. That's not what tests are for.
Does anyone even get number 4 right?
Yes. Yes. All right, guys. But I'm hoping that by me showing you now, and we will go over it again, that we won't miss it as much anymore. Okay. How is this similar to numbers 1, 2, and 3? Do you agree there's X's in there? And there's a mid-segment problem.
Yeah.
Anybody tell me how it is different?
It's on the side.
It's on the side. Thank you. Mendoza, put that away. Okay. Do you guys see the difference? This is the mid-segment. This is the base. They didn't give me the mid-segment or the base. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay. So the mistake kids make is they double the 3x to equal the 27. Is this that type of problem? It is not. You are not even using the mid-segment at all. What do these 2 markings mean? So what if they didn't give you the markings and they said this is the mid-segment? Should you still know they are congruent? What's the equation going to be?
3x.
Good job. 3x equals 27. No doubling, because you're not dealing with the midsegment, you're dealing with the side lengths. Divide and divide, what does x equal?
27 over 9.
27. That one we can divide. And what does it come out to be?
Do I have to?
If it does go in evenly, yes.
Well, so I have to still divide to find out the decimal.
Unless you have the fact in your head. If you do, you just do it. If not, then you plug it in. Like, will you actually have to find that point there?
Well, didn't we see that?
No. Like, you're, okay, you mean like as an ordered pair? Guys, you are not packing up. We'll discuss it another day. Possibly extra credit. Number 5. Shh, guys. Okay, how about I just show you what you're going to need to know. I'm not going to actually do a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, so at least just get this image down. You don't have to make it as big as I did. I don't know why I made it so big. Okay, everybody see it? All right. What did we say? According to these markings, this is called the what? Which means that these two lines, not about lengths, about parallel or perpendicular. These two lines are? Okay. Do I see a Z shape anywhere in this picture? No. Do you guys see the upside down F? Yes or no? Can you see it on this side as well, the upside down F? Okay. What do we call those angles in the F? It starts with the C. I'm going to extend. Can you see top right? Those are corresponding. What do you know about parallel lines cut by a transversal and corresponding angles? They are congruent to each other. So if I tell you this angle here is 40 degrees, what does that mean about this angle down here? It's going to be 40 degrees. Now, they're not equal across this way, so if I told you this one up here was 50, what would this one down here be? 50. Guys, they are not equal across, just like the congruent markings don't go across, but are they congruent on the same side?
Yeah.
Congruent on the same side. One more time, what are these angles called? Corresponding. All right.
That's it?
Yes, that's all.